Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. This, as you can tell by the title, is going to be my top bookish ships. So these are ships, like couples, from books that I love for various reasons. There are going to be spoilers for a series. I will say the series before the couple, so that if you don't want to know any spoilers for said series, then you can skip like 30 seconds. I'm going to start off with the couples from books that I don't have copies, and then I'll move on to the couples from books that I do have physical copies. And there are some like requirements. They must actually be canon, so they have to be canon, and they have to be couples that are actually together in some sort. So it can't be like these two characters are clearly like meant for each other but they're not together, because there'd be so many that aren't canon. There'd probably be multiple that aren't canon that I'm like, but like, or there's some couples that like, yeah, I do know that they end up together, that definitely would be on this list, but at the point where we are in their story, they aren't. The Last Hours, you probably know some of the couples I'm talking about that would definitely make it on this list, but unfortunately they're technically not together in any form. This list probably will change as time goes on. There are, I don't know, maybe like 15 plus, I don't know even how many ships there are, but I'm doing this because it is Valentine's Day very soon. I'm filming this on the 11th, uploading it on the 13th, and the Valentine's Day is on the 14th, and my birthday is on the 13th when I'm uploading this. Happy birthday to myself. But ships and book couples are just I just love. So I'm gonna start off with one of my most recent book ships that I literally just read this book not even like 2 weeks ago, and that is The Shadow Between Us. So again, if you don't want spoilers, skip a little bit. But The Shadow Between Us with Cassandra and Clare, they just immediately like went into my heart and will not leave. Like, they just, the way it was originally supposed to just be friends for mutual benefit, and then it ended up being love. I wish we would have seen just a little bit more of the romance, but I like envisioning what happened after the story end, and just their romance and their love is just amazing. Next, spoilers for From Blood and Ash and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and the couple I love from this are Poppy and Castile. Is that how his name pronounced? Castile? Castiel? I don't know actually how to pronounce his name, but oh my gosh, when I say I am in love with both of them, I mean I am in love with both of them. Their story is so good, and it's not even complete because there are, I don't even know how many more books in this series. I think it's at least 3, like 2 or 3, not including Crown of Gilded Bones that comes out in April, and I am just so excited to see where their story goes, where their romance goes and relationship, and they are just like, oh, that's all I can say, is they are just amazing, and all of that. Next, from Throne of Glass, like the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, there are, I'm gonna do 2 couples from this. One I like more than the other, but the other one I'm like still love. The main couple that I love is Rowan and Aylin. They just, when I read like the Throne of Glass series, and once they started to kind of get together, I was on board. I cried my heart out for them multiple times. If you know what scenes I'm talking about, you know what scenes I'm talking about. Rowan calling Aylin Fireheart. The freaking, like, the golden nightgown scene. in Queen of Shadows, just I just need a minute. The beach scene. Oh gosh, I could literally talk about that forever. I need to reread this series, not just for the series itself, but just specifically for their romance. I love them. And then also from the Throne of Glass series, I do really enjoy Dorian and Manon. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. But they are just like, I don't know why I like them. Like, but I do. So like they're more of like an honorable mention, I guess, from this series, but like I just really enjoyed them. And even though how it was like very slim, it was there and I just went, ooh, I like this. Next, from the Lunar Chronicle series, we have Cress and Thorne. This is a couple that I don't normally like just think about on a daily basis, but anytime I see any sort of fan art or any sort of mention of the Lunar Chronicles, my heart just goes, oh my gosh, Thorne and Cress, their romance is just so like, it's so like heartwarming and cute. Like, it's just so cute is the only way to describe it. It's just adorable. The way, I need to reread the Lunar Chronicle series. It's been over almost a year and a half, or over a year and a half, September 2019, so that was the last time I read this series, and I need to reread it. I need to more of these characters. I need to reread it again solely just for these two. Like, I love them. I love them even though their relationship doesn't start till the third book, and I'm like, ah. Next, from the Folk of the Air trilogy, Jude and Cardin. I, again, am in love with both of them. They are just, I don't know, there's like nothing special about them, but they just like have my heart. I don't know why. They just do. From the Heartstopper graphic novel series, we have Nick and Charlie, and they just scream teen love and just overall cuteness. They are just, their like relationship is just adorable. The only word I can describe their relationship as is adorable, because that's what it is. It's the one, again, the epitome of like first love, first relationship, like first love kind of thing, and just all of that. Now onto the like book couples that I own the books that they're corresponded. From the Infernal Devices, we have both Tessa and Will and Tessa and Jem. I love both couples equally, really, and just they are the only like love triangle that I truly love everyone in the love triangle, and I didn't pick a side. And I don't think there'll ever be a love triangle that like lives up to I don't think there'll ever be a couple that lives up to these two couples in the terms of a love triangle. This next couple is from the Mortal Instruments / the Dark Artifices / the Eldest Curses, which is Alec and Magnus. I just love them. I can't even explain why. I'm holding up the first book in their series technically, but like they are just like, I guess they show that love can last years, because you see their relationship form, and then you see it like you see their relationship form in like the Mortal Instruments, and then in the Dark Artifices you see them like 5 years later with a family, still in love. In the Eldest Curses series you see them throughout different points of their relationship, falling in love, being in love, and just their like love for each other, and it's just like undenying, and just I love them. From the Shadow Games series, we have N and Levi. This is, that's how I feel about them. They are just like, first of all, they are like, I remember reading Ace of Shades, shipping them so hard, just being like, get together, get together, get together. They finally get together in the 3rd book, and I was crying, tears of happiness, tears of sadness, I think all within the same chapter for them. And just, they are just, that's literally just how I feel, it's just, From the Shatter Me series, we have Warner and Juliet. I just love them. The way that they ultimately just their story and how it ended where it ended and how they got together and how it was like they were friends as children and then they weren't and they were forced to forget, and then throughout their life they came back together, were forced to forget, and they ultimately ended up together even though they weren't. They were always destined to be with each other, and their undenying love for each other, the way that they would do anything and do anything for each other is just amazing. From the A Court of Thorn and Roses series, I'm holding up the 2nd book in the series, is Feyre and Rhys. Just perfection, can I say? The way that they love each other undeniably. I guess I'm just sitting here like, I just need undenying love. Anyone offering? But like, the way that everything happens and the way their undenying love for each other and the way that before they're together they aimlessly flirt without care, and then when they get together it is like they go from 0 to 100. Chapter 55. And just everything, and just they're one of my favorites. Like, if I had to do a top 5, Feyre and Rhys definitely are up there. Like, oh my gosh. From the Dark Artifices series, there are 2. There would be 3, but 1 isn't technically canon yet. But first we have Emma and Julian. They are like friends to lovers, forbidden love, and just, again, it's like undenying love. They would sacrifice, they would and did sacrifice so much for each other. And then also, I guess this one technically isn't a couple, but like, I don't know what it's called, but is Mark, Kieran, and Christina. So it's like the 3 of them are all dating each other. The way that it's like, the way that they're like, the way that Mark, Kieran, and Christina are like kind of like, I guess spoiler for like one fantasy book that I'm like planning, is their inspiration. We'll leave it there. They're like inspiration, and I just realized that they're inspiration while I'm talking about them. I'm like, oh fuck. Okay. But I just, both couples, both Emma and Julian, and then Mark, Kieran, and Christina just are amazing. And Mark, Kieran, and Christina are the first time in any sort of media that I have seen like 3 people be in a relationship and it be fine. If you've read the series, you know how it's like fine but not fine, but it's because of the situation, yada yada yada. I just love, like, I just love them so much. And would this really be like a top favorite anything, like favorite couple, favorite book, anything like that, without mentioning Red, White, and Royal Blue, Alex and Henry? They are just, amazing. I love them. I love their love for each other. No, it's like, you can tell I like this book. It's like tabbed the fuck out. But I love their romance. The way it's like, oh, I hate you. Then it's, we're fuck buddies, then they're boyfriends, then they temporarily break up, and then they're back together, and it's just so cute. And the way they defy so many like normals, they're just like, being normal, chuck it out the window, we're just gonna be together and defy all of these like standard norms, and like all of that, and just I want to reread this book so bad, even though I just reread it back in the end of October, and I'm just like, can I just reread this? This is like my all-time favorite book. Like, so amazing. So those are like my top, I don't want to say like my top ships, because I have a feeling that there's like some I'm forgetting. I'm like, for example, like looking at my books, and I'm like, I was going through the list, and I'm like, am I forgetting anybody? And like, there's a chance that I'm forgetting somebody. So yeah, so those were some ships. I don't even know how many were on this list, but yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what are some of your favorite book couples. Do you like the ones that I like? Or is one of my favorite couples your absolute least favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Bye!